All right, welcome everybody. Thank you very much for joining. And good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for connecting. As you are coming in, please go ahead. Good morning. Thank you. Go ahead and invite more people. Can if you can go ahead and just share this on your page on Facebook. You can do so. You can do so on Instagram also. You can drop it on Instagram as well, just to bring people online. As I'm ready to actually drop it on my Instagram right now. I'm live on YouTube. All right. So if you guys would love to help, please go ahead and help out. Please go ahead and help out quickly. And welcome. Thank you very much, Angel. Angel, how are you doing? God bless you. Thank you very much for joining. Angel, thank you very much for joining. God bless you. Oh my God. All right, I got 16 people watching at this time. Thank you. The topic before us is my take on tithe and offering. And I'm going to be breaking it down to you guys. Let's check it out later after this. So before I go into this, Kelly BS, thank you. Divine, thank you. Good morning. Before I go into these, I want to quickly give you guys a kind of update as per the Tungba night. It's a vision to bring people together, Christian together, to unwind, to talk about different kind of stuff. Um, uh, you know, in Christianity, the life of people. All right. So it was a fantastic meeting, and if you have the opportunity of attending the next one, feel free to be there. And a lot of you guys are just you are just surviving. You are not living. A lot of Christians are just surviving. They're not living. You need to live. You need to take your time to live. Go out and unwind. Go out and dine and wine with people, dance with people, do what people do. All right. Enjoy your life. Don't just stay at home. Don't just stay at home and just be there. It's not just about praying, and all kinds of stuff. There are times that you need to come out and mingle with people, see people, listen to people. All right? It's going to bless your life. It will bless you. It will transform you. It will change you. All right? So good morning, Mimi. God bless you. Omoyeme, God bless you. Thank you very much for connecting. Please go ahead and share and let people connect as we discuss a very, very sensitive topic this morning. Very sensitive this morning. All right. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming. Let's break it down real quick because of time. Because I have a lot of stuff I'm doing at this time. Now, you will find out that so many people, they have issues when we talk about church. That church is a big time problem right now. It's possible you guys may not want to listen to the truth, but I just want to tell it to you. I will tell you the truth and let the devil be put to shame. The church today is actually big time wahala. Many people are dropping out. They stop going to church. They hate church like a no man's business. Some people are still going because they just cannot stop, because that's the only way they mingle. That's the only way they see people. They don't have friends. So if you tell them not to go to church, they're going to kill you. They're going to fight with you. Some people are going to church because they are convinced that Jesus is Lord and I must go to church to worship my God. Now, there was a time that people started talking about tithing is not for Christians. Tithe died with Moses. We are not being requested to pay tithe and all kinds of stuff like that. And with the kind of lifestyle that we see our pastors live, majority of our pastors, they love good things. Our pastors are lovers of good things. All right. They want to buy the nice shoes, nice clothes, nice jacket, nice rich watches. They want to buy a very nice car. They want to live in a mansion. They want to buy jets. They want to fly around and have homes everywhere. They want a house in Dubai, a house in London, a mansion in Nigeria. They want to kind of like live that kind of a life, to enjoy the money they're making. Now, the moment you are a pastor, I just want to let you guys know, is it now a very complicated life? A very complicated life is not easy because everything that you do, if you buy a house or you buy a car or you even buy a shirt for yourself, the church member will believe that you are using the church money. They will believe you are using their own money. Anything you buy, anything you invest into is going to be the church money. To the church members, they don't believe a pastor is a businessman. They don't believe a pastor is got a job. He works full time. They don't believe he's making money elsewhere. They believe the guy is making money only in the church. Christine Aluko, God bless you. They believe he's making money just only in church. They don't believe pastors are IT specialists. They don't believe pastors are doctors and pastors are lawyers. They don't believe pastors are teachers. Some pastors are business people and they make money from their businesses. And if you see them live in a mansion and the wife of a pastor may be a nurse or a doctor or accountant or whatsoever, and they are both making money. So if they buy a mansion, people believe it's the church money that they use. If they buy a nice watch, they believe it's the money of the church that they use. But the issue is that we refuse to go and check it. That the church has got a treasurer. There's a treasurer in church and there is a financial secretary in church. What are their responsibilities? Responsibility of a treasurer is to handle money. The financial secretary is to handle the account. And the two of them will know when somebody is withdrawing money or when somebody is dumping money in the account. Most of the time, the pastors don't even know anything about church money. I'm not talking about for all of the pastors, but I'm talking about the pastors who understand what the non-for-profit organization really means. All right? That when you are running a non-for-profit organization, you must have a treasurer, you must have a financial secretary, you must have a board. And the board must oversee the church, and you are only the spiritual leader. It's not automatic that you have to be the chairman of the board as a pastor. So money is coming in, the treasurer is collecting the money, counting the money, taking the money to the bank. The financial secretary is looking at it. Okay, the book is right, they balance up the book, and everything is right. And even the account of the church, you cannot collect money from it until you get 3 signatures on top of it. 3 people are going to sign, 2 people are going to sign, 3 people can sign, 2 people can sign, depends on what you set up. So that is going to prevent anybody from collecting money without the knowledge of somebody, even within the church. So that's the security system that have been placed there inside of the church. Now, at the end of the day, I don't really believe the church members should actually be afraid or should be thinking that somebody is actually stealing their money or the pastor is spending their money. All right? They should understand that this guy is actually so transparent because he's not the one handling money. His wife is not the one handling money. They are so transparent because the treasurer and the secretary, they are actually church members. They are not even related to the pastor in any way. And I believe in reports. I believe in financial reports once in a month or once in 2 months. That the church is supposed to have a financial department, a finance department, and they put a report together once every 2 months and give their financial report to the entire church. This is how much we made and this is how much is left after paying bills. All right. So the church members will already all know that, okay, we don't have money or we have money and this is where the money is going to and this is what they're using the money to do. And that should give the church members the opportunity to actually respect their pastors and know that this man is not embezzling their money. He's only spending the money that he himself is working for and that's the money he's using to live his life. Church can decide to give their pastor salary. They can decide not to. They can decide to give him a yearly gift. They can decide not to. Depends on whatever it is they want to do as a church. But usually it's that the pastor is not responsible in putting his own personal money into church and be paying bills in church. The church members supposed to. That's their responsibility. The church members' responsibility. They want to continue to come to church and get blessed in church. Then they must put their money into church so that the church can be run with the money that the church members are putting there, so they can come every Sunday and they will see the church still standing. They can come every Sunday. They can see that the instrumentalists are still there. They can come every Sunday. They can see that utility is still on. There's water in the bathroom. There is light in the auditorium. Instrumentalists are playing. The choir, they are singing. Everything is going right. There's no trash outside. The whole environment is clean. And then we worship and then we go home. And then we go, and that's the setting. That's the way it should be. That's the way it should look like. So the board of the church should be the ones running the church, but you as the pastor, you are only the spiritual leader. They must not mess with what you're preaching on the altar, but they have the right to control their money that is coming in. They have the right to meeting some project they want to do. They have the right to actually checking out the event they want to do. And then you are supposed to be there as a spiritual advisor to advise them whenever it is that they want to take a step. So the church does not belong to the pastor. The church belongs to the people. Ha! I just said something. Somebody's going to fight me. Somebody's going to fight me for what I just said right now. Somebody is going to fight me. Somebody's going to fight me. Somebody's going to fight me for what I just said now. Maybe I should just keep quiet and just say, look, because if I continue to say this thing, it's possible for me to offend some people. And I don't want to offend anybody. I don't, for real. I don't want to offend nobody in my life. I don't want to offend anybody. All right. So the church does not belong to the pastor. I just want you guys to just look at the picture. God called him to set up the church, not for goats or animals or whatever, for the people, so he can put his people inside of that church, and he, the pastor, will be the mouthpiece of God. So the church is set up for the people of God, and the church actually, the church is the people. The people, they are the church. They make up the church. Family make up the church. They come to the place, they come over there together, and then they fellowship together, and that's what the church is all about. So somebody is not the owner of the church. Nobody owns the church. The church belongs to the community. The church belongs to the people. So they have the right to rule over it. They have the right to suggest what to do. They have the right to do whatever it is that they got to do, because their money is running the organization. So when you are picking your board, you are not supposed to put your sister or your brother or your nephew or yourself as the board chairman. As a pastor, you are just the spiritual advisor. They put you in a position of respect, and then you stay there while the church members are now running the church, and they're actually allowing you to minister to them, and then probably they are giving you a little money or a big amount of money as salary. All right? So now that's exactly what the church is supposed to look like. And secondly, the church is not supposed to base their income alone on tithe and offering. They are supposed to start writing grants, because a church is a non-for-profit organization with the ability to collect tax exempt. They call it 501c3. So you can actually write grants, and the government can give you grants to run the church. People can give you money to run the church. People can give you money to run the church. And that's exactly the way it is. Please stop. If you don't understand Bible, don't come here, because you don't understand jack. All of this, Jesus did not collect that tithe, jack. You don't know nothing. Jesus had a treasurer. If Jesus had a treasurer, they are not keeping rocks. They are not keeping rocks or crocodile inside of the pocket of treasure of Jesus. If you don't know the Bible, stop right there. Don't stop right there. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing that is going to make people angry or that will derail people. Don't say it. And listen to teaching. When you listen to it, you have any question, ask. Ask it politely. Don't call me and come and stir up anything. I'm breaking something down right now, bit by bit, step by step. Listen to it. If you have any question, ask. Just ask. All right? Now, what am I saying is, oh, they're keeping food inside of the treasurer's pocket. All right, they keep food inside. They don't have money. They keep food. You don't remember when forget it. Let me argue with you. Now, what am I saying is that, you see, so the church is not supposed to base their income just only on tithe and offering alone. They're supposed to be able to write grants. I'm not sure how it works in Nigeria. I don't know, maybe you can write grants in Nigeria. Maybe they're giving grants or whatever in Nigeria. But in overseas country, in London, in Canada, in America, you as a church can write a grant, and then the government will approve it, and they give it to you to run the church, to pay electricity bill for people, to pay rent for people, to give people food and support people, to actually bless the homeless people. And that's what they believe the church is supposed to be and do at the same time. And then some churches will actually take part of the income they have, they invest it in a business. Some of them will buy Dunkin' Donuts, some of them will buy, they will buy McDonald's, some of them will actually have transportation business, some of them will actually invest in stock and all kinds of stuff. And at the end of the whole stuff, you will put everything together as the money is coming in to run the church. And it's not the pastor that is running the church. It is the chairman of the board that is running the church. The pastor is just only the spiritual leader of that church. His own responsibility is to preach the gospel. His responsibility is to counsel the people. His responsibility is to lead the people to pray and point them towards God. When it comes to any issue about money, there is a department in the church that is funding, that is handling the issue of money. Money is needed in the church because the Bible said, he said money, all right, is the will of the gospel. The will of the gospel is money. Jesus cannot move from here to there without money. Funding is very important. It's very, very important, all right? And that's the stuff. Mr. Ade Omowumi, I'm going to come back to your point. I'm going to come back to your point because you Nigerians, I don't understand you at all. Now, I used to attend a white church when I was in Oklahoma, the new church. We don't have tithe and offering inside of the agenda. So it's a 1 hour service. We always hold like 4 services every Sunday. So it's a 1 hour service every Sunday. And then during the 1 hour, the choir will sing, and then we sing hymn, and then we read the Bible, then the pastor will preach, and then we just go straight home. All right? Outside of the church, we have 2 boxes. 1 box for offering, the other one for tithe. All right? So when we are coming into church, every one of us, we knew it at that time that we're supposed to give to the work of God. So we put our tithe there, we put our offering there, we walk into church, and then we do service, and then we go upstairs to eat our sandwiches, and then we go home. Now, I tried it in a Nigerian community, Nigerian church when I was in New York. I said, okay, let us take tithe and offering off of our agenda. So we took it off of our agenda, then we put it outside. So we put it outside and said, okay, people put the money in the box. Do you know throughout that month, we did not receive only 1 envelope. No 1 envelope entered into that box at all. No 1 envelope entered into that box at all. Nigerians are thieves. They cannot take instruction. The moment you don't force them to do things, they will never do it. I'm coming from a kind of a society where people are supposed to be responsible. I know exactly what my rights and my responsibilities are. All right? Then I do it because that's my responsibility. But for a Nigerian, you will never do it until the pastors will turn your head, will turn you and say, hey, I see a revelation, I see this. That's when you now bring your check and start writing. Nigerian Christians cannot obey instruction at all. They cannot. And that's why your pastors are doing what they're doing to you. They're doing that to you because you will not be able to do things Because you are not matured enough. People are not matured as a Christian. They don't know how to give. So that's why the pastor decided to go and look for a way to actually take the money away from them. And I talk about this thing all the time. I blame all those pastors, but now I don't want to blame pastors anymore because I've seen it myself. Right now, it doesn't matter how you are dying for people. They will say it's a matter of choice. Then don't come to church if you want to choose not to give. If you don't want to give, then don't come to church. Don't come to church if you don't want to give to God. Don't come. Or sit in your house. Now, the issue is this. Now, what do we use the tithe and the offering of the church for? I want to just break it down to you guys. Now, the tithe and the offering of the church is actually used for the church. Majority of people don't know. Majority of the people don't know what the tithe and the offering is used for. And maybe because a lot of Nigerians are looking at the lifestyles of the pastor and thinking, all right, when we give them tithe, they are the ones spending it. When we give them tithe, they are the ones using it to buy cars. When we give them tithe, they're using it to build houses. Now, that's not the case. I'm not talking about the bad pastors. I'm talking about good pastors now who understand what non-for-profit organization is all about. Like in our own church, we are registered under the government as a non-for-profit organization incorporated, and then the government is got right to come and check our account. They can close down your church at any time when they see anything wrong in your accounting. Now, when you give your tithe, many people look and say, okay, so how do you spend money? And this is how you spend the money. Let me give it to you. Number one, the rent of the church must be paid. I'm going to use my church as an example. In our church, the Rejuvenation Center, we pay $1,650 every month in rent. Just only rent. So the money must be paid on the first of the month. Now, God is not putting money on the coffee table. God is not putting money on the altar. God is not putting money in front of the church. It must be the donation from the church that we must use to pay the bills of the church. That's number one. Number two, utility. We're talking about electricity. We are plugging instruments. We are plugging fans. We're plugging AC, lights, and all kinds of stuff. So our utility in a month is almost about $300 a month. Now, $300 a month, going in with $1,600 is almost about $1,900. Let's say $2,000 right now. It must be paid. God is not putting money in front of the church. God is not putting money on top of the altar. God is not putting money in front of the coffee table. The donation from the church is what we will use to pay the bills. Now, number three, that you see a lot of musicians come. You see a lot of musicians come. You see a lot of musicians come, and what they do is when they come, they come into church, they play the keyboard. It's always very sweet when you come to church and the music is playing. The music is not playing by itself. So many churches don't have the opportunity of finding instrumentalists who are actually playing for free. So we need to hire instrumentalists. Let me break it down. While I was in New York, we were paying the keyboardist $100 every Sunday, the drummer $100 every Sunday. That's $200 per Sunday. And that is almost about, let me see, $200 per Sunday times 4, that's $800 per month. Now, $800 plus $2,000 makes $2,800 in bill. That's just for instrumentalists, the keyboardist and the drummer. And sometimes people say, oh, we need a gongorist. We need a gongorist. Gongorist, they collect $250. They collect $250 every Sunday. So you guys want to dance in church, you want the church to pop. The church is not popping, pastor. We need some music. So you want music, you want gongor to come, saxophonists to come, and now you're talking about another $100, another $250. Now add it to that stuff, the money's up. So every fun you see that is happening within the church costs a lot of money. Then after that, we want to talk about cleaning. In Nigeria, I know that I go to church every time. I go to church every time to go and clean. I go there, I clean. And when I clean at the church, at no charge, nothing. I don't charge anybody to clean. I do it by myself. In America, who has got the time to come and clean the church? Who has got the time to come and clean the church? Nobody. All right? If you say, Sister, so can you meet me on Saturday to clean the church? They say, I'm working. Sister Funke, can you come on Thursday? They say, I'm working. So the best thing for us to do is to hire the cleaner that will come and clean the church, and then they clean the church on a Saturday to get it ready for Sunday morning. We pay them to clean the church. So now think about how much we are paying right now to the church. Now, thirdly, now what do we do? Because when you now listen to Pastor, when you listen to Pastor Shola, like every Sunday, Pastor Shola is the only one preaching. Then the time will come that you just feel like, okay, this is just getting boring here. So that is why pastors always want to bring their pastor friends to be a blessing to the church. So they invite their friends from California. I've been invited to California several times. They pay my ticket. My ticket is like $700 to go from New York to California. And then they put me in a nice hotel for probably like $190 a night. And they have to house me for 3 days. And then they give me food and all kinds of stuff. And after that, they will still have to give me honorarium and say, thank you for coming, sir, and all kinds of stuff. Now think about all that money. $700 to come, $190 per day times 3 to be in hotel, my food, and all kinds of, then the honorarium to give unto me, about $1,500 to $2,000 is always being given as honorarium and stuff like that. Now, do you think all this money should come from the pastor's pocket? You think it's going to come from the pastor's pocket? No. And then when I come there, you will enjoy the presence of God because I'm a different guy. All right? I'm different from your pastor. The way I do it, the way I teach is different from the way your pastor will teach. Me and your pastor can teach the same topic, but I'm going to put a different flavor into it, and then you guys will enjoy it at that point in time. And at that time, it's costing money to bring me there. It's costing money to house me. It's costing money to feed me. Thank you very much. It costs money to feed me. It costs money to bring me to the place. So where do you think the money is coming from? It's coming from heaven, right? No, it's not. It's coming from the pocket of the people. So issue is that there are so many things that is actually a responsibility of the church, what we need to do. Now I see why we don't invite anyone in my church, because you don't have money. Because you don't have money. All right. So that's the stuff. And then sometimes we pastors, we bring people into church, and then the person is going to give a different flavor and stuff. And during that time, the pastor will now raise money, because at that time, people will open up to that person because the person is new. So he will say, I want 7 people to give me 1,000. Then people will come out, so we'll be able to raise money. Just imagine 7 people with 1,000. That's 7,000 for the church. And the 7,000 is going to church, not going to the pastor. All right? Even though you're going to give the pastor who raised the money honorarium, but the money goes to the church. And the church treasurer will collect the 7,000 and then dump it in the church account, put it down as part of the income of the church, okay? And then during the next time we want to do program, we will have enough money in the account of the church to do program. To do program. So that's just the issue. That's what the tithe and the offering of the church is used for. All right? He's not going to pastor. I want to tell you something. Ladies and gentlemen. You can choose not to pay your pastor salary. Let them go get jobs. Let them go do businesses. All right? But the issue is that don't ever take your money away from donating to church, because the church needs the money. They need the money to be able to do all those things that you go to church to see. Many of you guys will say, Pastor, I'm doing Thanksgiving on Sunday. I'm bringing all my members, all my family members, and stuff like that. But then you are expecting to bring your gilly, and you're expecting to dance. You want to dance? You want the place to pop? You want gangaris to put it, every time the guy is doing it's costing money. Every time you hear the drum set, them going, it's costing money. Every time you do that, it's costing a lot of money. So that's what the money is going for. Daughter of Zion, I agree with all the necessary expenses except for honorarium. Why will you not agree to honorarium? Do you see anybody that's going to come to your church and leave whatever they're doing and come to your church for free? The Bible even says, I have not called the house of Jacob to serve me in vain. All right? Your gift and talent are supposed to feed you and make way for you. Anybody saying what you're saying right now is not a daughter of Zion. It's a wicked daughter. Saying what you're saying right now. All right? Anybody who water you, you must water them back. Water them back. If your church doesn't have money, don't invite anybody. It's not compulsory for you to invite anybody. It's not compulsory. All right? It's not. I'm telling you, don't invite nobody to your church. Leave everybody alone. Leave the pastors alone where they are. Don't invite them. You and your pastor can continue to preach and preach in your church, and nobody's going to be bothered. But when you are bringing somebody from New York, or bring somebody from California, or inviting somebody from somewhere to come and be a blessing, the Bible says, water them back. Those that water you. People who water you, you water them back. But the church needs to give an account of how the church money is being used. Life Master, you are late on the show. I already said that already. The pastor is not the one that is actually in the account department. They have the account department, that's the treasurer and the financial secretary. They are not related to pastor. They are not related. So they are the ones keeping the money. So every month there's supposed to be a financial report. Pastor Jola, the church can as well make do of just offerings. Now, Temilade Adam, I'm not against that. If you decide not to pay tithe, at least when you are paying offering, don't pay $1. Now, majority of you, Temilade Adam, how much do you pay in offering? People bring $1. They dance from their seats. They dance around, with their gele, and then they now put $1 in the offering basket. Now think about 50 people in a church, and they only bring offering with $1 each basket. That's $50. How much $50 can we accumulate to pay the bills of $3,000 in the church? Tell it to me. When you come back on Sunday, will you still meet the church there? When you come back next month, will you still meet the church there? I have gone for a Thanksgiving service before. I sat in front by the altar, and I was looking at the people. They were dancing. They were dancing and reversing. I don't understand. You don't understand when people are dancing. They dance and reverse. They go like this, reversing. And the guy that was singing was and they dance and reverse, all to come and donate $1. All to come and donate $1. And the guy on the gong is charging us $250. The guy on the drum set is charging us $100. The guy on the keyboard is just $100. All right? That's how much we are paying. And you are saying offering. I think it's great to give to your church as long as they are transparent in all this fun. Yes, give to your church. When they are transparent, you give to church. Don't hold on to your money because they need it. It is not the money that is going to the pastor. It's going to the church to be able to run the church. To run the church. Another reason why a lot of have to move Church of England, I don't know. Oh, yeah. Pastor, people will give $1 as offering, them dance fast. I'm telling you, the ones that dance, that's what they give, $1. I'm not saying don't give offering to church. In as much as you're giving offering of $200 every Sunday, I don't mind. It's going to be good. Think about it. Think about it. All right? Think about it. Honorarium of 1,000 to 2,000 is just too much. It's not too much. What do you mean honorarium of 1,000, 2,000 is too much? It's not too much. You are keeping a man for 3 days in your church. The man ministered on Monday or on Friday. He ministered 2 times on Sunday. On Saturday, he ministered to the women, he ministered to the children, he ministered to the widow, he ministered to the fatherless, and then on Sunday again he ministered. Then all of you now queued. All of you now queued in front of the door. You want to see the man. The man is now sitting down there, and you guys are coming in with all your stories. And then you say 1,000 is actually too big to give to him. A man you tied down since Friday. Probably he actually arrived on Thursday. You tied him down since Thursday until your Sunday afternoon. I pity Nigerians. I pity us, man. If you cannot understand giving, don't go to church. If you can't understand giving, don't go to church. Leave church alone. Go sit down in your house. Sit down in your house and be calculating your money and be leaving your money and be eating your money. That's it. Don't go to church. Because every time you go to church, you are occupying the seat. You're wasting time. You're wasting time. Can you Sister, daughter of Zion, can you sacrifice at your job and just go to your workplace and say, okay, I'm going to work for 8 hours, just only pay me for 6? Have you done that before, man? Daughter of Zion, have you gone to your work and say, I want to sacrifice? I want to sacrifice, just pay me for 6 days out of 8 days I'm going to work. Have you done that before? Because your job is a ministry too. Because you are servicing people. Have you done that before, sister, daughter of Zion? Have you gone to your workplace where you work and say, okay, oh, I'm going to work for 8 hours, but just only pay me for $6? You know, no. I'm just giving you an example. I'm not saying I'm just giving you an example. The man you took out of his house, took him out of his business since Thursday, all the way to Sunday, and you're telling me 1,000 is too much to give to him. It's terrible. Very terrible. This mindset is not the kind of mindset I want. The issue is people have been threatened and manipulated. Yes, they have been threatened and manipulated, and that's it. They have been threatened and manipulated, and that's why they are where they are right now. But the issue is that if you like it, you don't like it. The moment your church is well organized, there is a treasurer in church, there is a finance department. When there is a treasurer and there is a financial secretary in church, and then you receive your monthly financial report, and they didn't say pastor stole any money, or we spent 10,000 for pastor, or whatsoever, I think that's a good shot for you to give and sow your seed. Because what you're doing is that you're creating more money for the church to utilize. And you will now find out in such a kind of a church, there will be help department. What do I mean by help department? The help department is actually a place where church members go to whenever they enter into any kind of situations. All right, it's possible for you to lose your job. Then the church will take over paying your bills for the next 6 months. A place where you go to if you're hungry. A place where you go to if you're homeless. A place where you go to if you're sick. It's a place where you go to if you need help, support. All right. There's so many churches during the time of pandemic, they gave a lot of money out to people because people paid their tithes into the church. They had money inside of their account, and they used that money to invest into businesses. And as the money is coming in, they start using the money to bless the church member. Now, let me tell you this. The church is a community. The church is not the property of a pastor. It's a community. We come together to put money into that community. We save that money there. So in case anything happened to those ones that are members of the community, we now use the money to help them in that place. And that was exactly what the disciples did. The apostle, that was what they did. You know, people went to sell their lands. People went to sell their homes. They sell their farm. And they brought the money to the feet of the apostle. 100%. They brought all to the feet of the apostles. And the Bible says they were actually covered, that you did not know who is poor and who is rich among them. So the rich people, they cover the poor people. And that's what the church is supposed to look like. And then even in the church, you will see that even the pastor could not be identified because he himself is part of the system. He himself is part of the system. All right? So, and that's exactly the way it should work. It's a community, and then they have the structure. The pastor is just the spiritual head. All right? You should sit there in one corner and be dealing with spiritual issues. You will remember that the Bible says, and the disciples, they selected some people, they call them deacons. And the deacons, they don't preach, they don't teach. What they do is they serve the table. All right? And then they allow the disciples to be teaching, baptizing people. So they focus on teaching. They focus on teaching. They are not interfering into issue of money, issue of food, issue of anything. So the people in church that have been appointed to be part of those that will oversee the money, they are supposed to be given that opportunity to handle it, while every one of us now sit down and then we listen to financial report. It completely, but in reality, they are private businesses of the GOs. No, you guys don't get it. I'm telling you guys the real picture of what the church should look like. Please don't bring GO into this. Don't bring GO. If you want to understand this teaching, you won't be going to bring GO into this one. I'm teaching you ideal things, the way it should be. The way it should be. That's what I'm bringing to you guys. That's what I'm bringing to you guys right now. So the church is supposed to be a community. So when you bring the money into it, the money you're bringing into it It's what they use in paying utility, paying all the bills, and at the same time helping the people. When a pastor was sacked, he complained. Can you clarify for us? I don't understand what you're saying, but I'll confess here, you said church is not a business, a job, or a company. No. All right. You want to understand why I said it's not a job. I say it's not a job. All right, let me break it down to you. Now, when God call you to start a ministry, you go into that ministry. Ministry is a full-time assignment. It's what to do when you sleep, when you wake up, every time you do it. And someone like me, I decided to get a job that is actually flexible. Flexible for me to be able to manage ministry. So I can decide to call off my job just to go and attend to issue of ministry. What do I mean by issue of ministry? You guys can have kids. You want to name your baby. Your baby is supposed to be named by 4 o'clock. If I have a job that won't release me at 4 o'clock, then I may not be able to attend your naming ceremony. But I got a job that I do from home. And so I can actually decide to call off and just go and quickly attend to your stuff. The other day, a woman actually called me, "Oh, Pastor, I need your help concerning so I need to sign some document, and I want my pastor to sign for me and stuff like that. And I don't have a car, and I don't know, probably you can actually hurry up and come and just sign those documents for me." I actually took a break. I told my supervisor I got to go, and I left. I left my computer at home. I ran all the way to her, signed the documents for her, and all kinds of stuff for her to be able to get the job. I came back. So that's the work of a pastor. You have to make sure you have the time for the people. It doesn't matter. You still can do your job. You can be a business person. You can be a doctor. You can be a lawyer. You can be whatever it is that you're doing that's giving you money, but you must still be able to do the work of the ministry. All right? Regardless. You don't have to give me money to do what I'm doing. You don't have to pay me salary to do what I'm doing. So I'm doing it. I'm laboring for the people that God has placed under me. And that's a church. A church and a shepherd. All right? The shepherd, normally in those days, sheep will give to shepherds. They bless them because I'm grateful. All right. So when I look at that, that is not showing you or proving to you that I'm saying ministry is a job. I'm saying that ministry actually is an assignment by God given unto you to do. So now when you now take me outside of my church, away from my house, you are inviting Pastor Shola to come to California. You're inviting me to come to Nigeria. You're inviting me to go to Saudi Arabia. And you said, okay, you wanted to come over and minister there. All right? I'm not charging you guys. I didn't ask you guys that I want to collect 10,000. Now, my life is in 2 forms, and I want you guys to listen. If you are inviting me as a motivational speaker, I'm going to give you a bill. You are inviting me as a motivational speaker not to preach a message in church. You are inviting me to a secular place to come over and do motivational teaching about who is a man, what is marriage, and all of that stuff. I will let you know I charge $250 every hour. I charge $500 every hour. So you're going to pay me for that. That's my profession. That's my job. That's what I do. I'm a relationship coach and I'm a counselor. That's how I make my money. But when it comes to me, on the other part of me being a pastor, and you're inviting me to a church to come and minister, I will never charge a church and say I'm collecting 2,000. All right? Now, your pastor knows that when I water you, I must be watered back. And that's the essence of the honorarium. The honorarium is that thank you, sir, for coming. Thank you for taking the time off of your job. Thank you for taking the time away from your family. Thank you for taking the time away from your church. And we are blessing you with this $1,000. Thank you for coming, sir. And nowadays, they quickly give us the IRS form. And we fill out the IRS form that I collected $1,000 from this church. And that's going to actually add to what I'm going to use for my tax, because I'm still going to pay tax on that money that I received from your church. So you're going to pay tax from the money I received from your church. All right? And that's the way it is. I am not saying pastoring is a job. It's an assignment. But that assignment must be done. And if I want to go and do my work full time, I may not be able to cater for the assignment God has given unto me. So I deprive myself of making 6 figures. I deprive myself of getting 2 jobs. I deprive myself of actually getting a full-time job just because I want to function in the ministry so I can always be available to you anytime you need me, and I will always come and get to do whatever I want to do. So I decided to live a sacrificial life to be able to get to that point. They'll get to that point. You see what I'm saying? And so when I go to be a blessing, then they bless me back. I'm not charging anybody 2,000 to come and preach. I'm not charging anybody 10,000 to come and preach. If I minister in your church and you feel like 10,000 is what I want and you give it to me, I'll collect it. When I go to preach in your church and you feel like, okay, let's bless him with $500, I'll collect it. Even sometimes when they give me money, I put it back in the offering basket. When I look at the church, this church is so small and tiny. They can't even afford to give me $200. Look at them. And I put it back in the offering basket and say, I'm sowing it back to the ministry. All right? Pastors do that all the time. You may not know. It's possible for you not to know. All right? So what am I saying is that, okay, let me go back. I remember when a pastor was sacked for not making enough money in the church. You are talking about the Winners Chapel issue that happened. Winners Chapel issue that happened, I personally don't buy into that idea, because what I buy into is this. If I start a ministry, that ministry, is given to me by God. I am supposed to be the shepherd of that ministry. If I decide to have a branch, I'm not going to have a branch whereby I'm still going to be the pastor in charge of it. I will put somebody there. That ministry there will be his own representative. I'm not going to be going back there and say, okay, it's my church, it's my church. No. We have started the lighthouse in Nigeria, and then we have the lighthouse in America. Pastor Ayo Daniels has never called me one time and said, Pastor Shola, because you are pastoring lighthouse in New York City, come and pay me this money. He has never called me. And these are the people I connect with. I connect to Reverend Sam Adeyemi. You can't see him having 20 branches or 200 branches or 2 branches anywhere. Anybody you see that is following Reverend Sam Adeyemi started a church that Reverend Sam himself already invested into, probably gave a donation of 1 million, 2 million naira. Go and start this church and run it. It is your own. And it's your own. Manage it, build it, and do likewise to another person. All right? Don't go there and be governing and be ruling over them. All right? But with these GOs in Nigeria, I don't understand their own concept. I believe that if a pastor is called into the ministry, it's possible for him to start his own ministry by himself. But now he wants to start your own ministry, want to work under your ministry, you should just let him go. Let the church be underneath his care, fund him, let him be able to do well. If he's able to pull 5 people, that's his capacity. If he's able to pull 10 people, that's his capacity. In as much that the 5 people are going to heaven, in as much that the 10 people are going to heaven, I don't think every church should be 5,000 members. I don't think every church should be 2,000 members. There are churches that will be 50. There are churches that will be 20. There are churches that will be 10. There are churches that will be 5,000. It depends on capacity. All right? So, and then you let them go and run the church. Let them have their own freedom, and they can come to you as a son. And then during convention, they can come to your conventions, and then they donate 10%, 20% of their income to your ministry as a thank you for overseeing us and protecting us and guiding us, and then you have invested into our lives. So I don't think any pastor should be fired or sacked. I don't think so. A pastor should be fired or sacked. Pastoring is an assignment, it's not a job. It's an assignment that God has given unto you. Go ye therefore and preach. That pastor should never be sacked from the ministry. That's the assignment God has given unto him. And then if he's performing based on his capacity, nobody should raise any kind of eyebrow to that one. That's his own capacity. That's his capacity is actually flowing on. So we should leave everybody to flow in their own capacity. I personally don't believe in branches. I don't believe in branches because what we're doing is that many people are being called. We are blocking them from fulfilling their own purpose in life. Because on this street, we have 20 Redeemed Christian Church. On that street, we have 30 redeemed Christian churches. Winners Chapel on this side, a Mountain of Fire on this side. How about the guy that God called here to do a different ministry? Everybody's already sucked into the redeemed. Everybody's sucked into the winner. This guy is being called to do something different. Now there is no fish in the water for him to actually be able to minister to. No fish for him to minister to. You know? No. You know what I'm saying? Church did not have much unnecessary expenses during Ayo Babalola's days. Can you compare the apostle days to Ayo Babalola's days, Sam James? Ayo Babalola's time was still expensive compared to the apostle days. It's dispensation. It's how the country is evolving, how life is evolving. All right? In the time of our children, it's still going to be more expensive. So don't bring that in. Don't bring that into it. All right? Don't bring that into it at all. All right. In the day of Ayo Babalola, were they using internet? They were not using internet. The days of Ayo Babalola, were they using digital mixers? No, they were not. In the days of Ayo Babalola, were they playing saxophone and all kinds of? They are not doing that. They're not doing all of that stuff. All right. And you cannot leave God in the past. God is dynamic. He's moving. God is moving. If you don't want to pay tithe, say I don't want to pay tithe and forget it and shut your mouth and go. All right, coming in to now be doing unnecessary argument is what I don't participate in it. If you know your God, you need to give to him. Give to his work. God doesn't need our money, but the work of God needs our money. So the only thing I want to advise is for the pastors to be transparent. Let the pastors be transparent. Let the church money be used for what the church money is supposed to be used for. Let the church money be used to help church people. Let the church money be able to pay the bills of the church. And that's how the church will be able to function. But if you leave the pastor alone to cater for the need of the church, paying the bills, is more or less like you're saying is his church, not your church. And it's supposed to be our church. And if it's our church, that's how it's going to be profitable. It will become profitable if it's our church. If your church is a storefront, the pastor should not be asking for a Rolls Royce as a birthday gift. A pastor shouldn't even ask for birthday gifts. The church members should actually contribute and say, yeah, let's bless our pastor with what we have. It's possible for them to just only have $1,000, let them give it to him. It's possible for them to only have one shoe for him, they give it to him. And he should accept it because the church members, they have other bills to pay. They have other things to do with their money. And that's why I encourage the pastor, get your own job. Be able to buy your own Rolls Royce. Be able to buy your own car. Be able to buy your own clothes. Be able to do your own stuff by yourself. Be able to send your children to school by yourself. Don't take advantage of church members to actually bless your life. That's going to be wrong. It's totally wrong. And that's the reason why we don't give to church. And that's why the church is backward today. And that's why the pastors have turned and they become wolves. And that's why they're using juju and putting it inside Holy Communion. And many of you guys are arguing right now. You're actually giving money to the church without you knowing. Without you knowing. The church secretary called a meeting to say that's the gift he wants. That's not right. If he can want that gift, let him go and pray. Let him go and pray for the church members to be blessed and become rich. So if the church members become billionaires, they can buy it for him. The pastors pay attention to the rich brethren than others because the rich people give him things. They give him money. There is nobody that will be taking money or being pampered that will not attend to that person. Think about it. If it's you, that's the same thing you do. Somebody's giving you money. Somebody's buying shoe for you. You're going to give them attention. Even the ones that you talk about, the other ones that are not, the regular people that are not giving him things, at least if you see him and say, hey, God bless you, sir. Thank you, pastor. Thank you for coming. Or maybe you actually help him to carry his bag. You don't have to give him money for him to actually recognize you. But so many of you actually have an entitlement kind of mindset that you believe because you are a church member, the man's supposed to be running after you. I won't run after you myself. For real. I'm not going to run after you. I know a lot of people that we labored on. We even, in my church, that time we bought somebody a taxi. The moment he got a taxi, he stopped coming to church. We helped somebody to get the driver's license. The moment he got the driver's license, he ran away. He didn't come to church again. That was when he knew he was a member of the team when he was in Nigeria. Good evening, sir. About to be sincere, pastors already make the church theirs. They make their sons senior pastors. I understand, Ben. I do understand. I understand what you're saying, which is not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be, and that's not the right thing. I'm just telling you the ideal thing right now. The church doesn't belong to a man. It's not the property of a man at all. Your children, they are not supposed to inherit church. They can inherit the ministry, but they can't inherit church. Your church is not part of the will. It should not be part of the will. No. That church belongs to people because we are running the church with the money of the people. It's not your own money. It's the money of the people we use in running the church. So the church belongs to the people who are the church. So it's actually not right. Just want to let you know it's not right for us to do that. It's not. So, but nowadays we have actually converted the church to property that we believe that our Father willed it to us, and it's our own, and we are going to be the one to be in charge, and we'll be the general overseer, the church secretary, will be the board member and board director, and will be other people that are just there are just stupid and mumu. They're just coming there to the church. Honestly, I feel the reason why people are mad about tithe is because some pastors oppose their members, opposed or oppressed. I don't know. Maybe oppress them, not oppose. Maybe oppress. Yes, but is it? It's not. Is it one thing that you guys said is that it's not pastors who is down full time. Some of us we have jobs. We do what we do. We make our money from a different level. And then if I buy clothes, I buy shoes, I'm not using your money as a church member to buy my things. I don't even see church money. That's how our pastor sponsored a man to meet his wife, who was one of our ushers. As soon as the man came to America, he took our beloved usher and they went to Winners Chapel. See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Iroro. That's why. And you guys want us to be running after you? Can't run after you because you guys are not. It doesn't want it. We run and run and run. We labor. When you had your first child, we ran over there. We supply you diaper. We supply you everything. We even gave you baby food and all kinds of stuff. And then the moment you got a job, you now remember you're a member of Winner. Now remember you're a member of the Winners Chapel. And that's when you now walk away and go. You walk into the place. Winners Chapel didn't see you that time to help you. Redeem didn't see you that time to help you. Now run into our own church because our own church is small. We're looking for church member. Now we run after you. We provided you with security job. We gave you our own paper for you to work. We gave you food. We gave you accommodation, everything. And you are in church. And then now that you're back on your feet, they're now saying, oh, I remember now that I'm from Winners Chapel. And then I'm about to go back to the church I'm from and stuff. You walk away. So what do you think the pastor is going to actually think about? He has already labored on you, and now you're actually now going. Let's say God will bless him. He has done what he's supposed to do. Glory to God. But it's very sad. Very, very sad. And this is what I'm saying, Iroro. Thank you very much for actually sharing this view with me. All right? Well said. God does not need our money, but the church does. An emotional or spiritual blackmail should never be used to collect these monies. Yes, Temi Busari. And like I said at the beginning, if you church members, Nigerian church members, if you will flow or flow like the Americans will flow, it will be a different ballgame. It will be a different ballgame. I shared the story of when I was in the new church, in the white church. The offering time is not. Do you know in Nigerian church, offering time is almost about 2 hours. Offering time, blessing time. Bring out your money, raise it up, pray to it. Remember Ananias and Sapphira. When they dupe God, they die. You don't want to die. Make sure your tithe is complete. Make sure your offering is solid. Pray to God and say, God, I connect this offering to the beautiful life I'm about to live. I connect this offering. I will not die. I will not. If you rob God, you will die. If you rob God, you will die. You don't want to die. So make sure, bring your hands back down and rewrite the check. If you don't rewrite that check, you will die. I don't want you to die. Remember Ananias and Sapphira, the feet of those that took them out is still by the door. Remember, don't steal from God. You are a generation of thieves. Remember that. And this is offering time, oh. And this is just offering time. Oh. And then you begin to see people bring their hands down and writing their check gradually and stuff like that. And then they will now dance to bring the offering. And that's already taking 2 hours because you must be wise to bring the money out. Unlike the Americans, they knew it that they must put the money in the basket. So when they're coming from home, we come through the drive-thru, we collect 2 envelopes, we put the money inside of it without any ceremony. We put it in the box. We put it in the box. But in Nigeria, we have to whine you. You know, I went to a church one time and said, then they said, raise it up. Remember Abraham. Abraham gave all. He gave his son unto God. Remember what God, Abraham became father of many nations. If you want to become rich, make sure you bring your hand down, rewrite that check. Put the real tithe. You know, you make $1,000, put 100. You make 2,000, put 200. If you rob God, God will rob you. If you rob God, God will rob you. If you rob God, God will rob you. Don't let God rob you. Put it. I was like, yeah. How do pastors feel this guy? Pastor Jala? Family, medical insurance, retirement, and other benefits. Well, if you have a job, you should have that from your place of work. If you are having a full-time job, your full-time job will give you life insurance, medical insurance, retirement plan, and all that. If you are working as a pastor under a ministry, majority of the Pentecostal churches don't plan for retirement for you. They just want to use you. And that's why majority of all these pastors, when they serve you for like 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years, the next thing they want to do is to take part of your members to go and start their own. So when they go start their own, they know that the future is secured. They collect their own tithe offering and all kinds of stuff to bless themselves. All right. And that's the reason why we have many churches all around. We wouldn't have had many churches if all the general overseers are not greedy. And they have medical insurance for their pastors. They have retirement for their pastors, just like the Baptist and the Anglican churches. The Baptist church, they have retirement plan for their pastors. They pay their pastors on government scale. They give them accommodation. They give them a car. So those pastors don't need to see revelation and share you with anything that will scare you. They just come, they preach their message, they go home. Their kids are being given scholarships. All right. So the organization is making money, and they are actually having retirement plan for those pastors that when you retire, you start collecting money of retirement from the church. But the Pentecostal churches don't do that. They just use you. Well, they hire you as a pastor, they only give you $1,000 a month, and so that you will not die. What they are expecting you to do is to start scamming people. What they're expecting you to do is to go and do juju to collect money. What they're expecting you to do is to put something in Holy Communion for them to start dropping and stuff. And when I was working for CAC, they always come to calculate how many nurses do you have. How many nurses do you have in your church? And then they want us to continue to encourage people to go to school of nursing. Any woman that comes into America, push them to school of nursing. So when they go to school of nursing, automatically they'll be making $7,000 a month. And when they make $7,000 a month, $700 is supposed to come to you in church. All right. So you're supposed to make money. So if you're not able to do that, then you don't have the anointing and stuff like that. Then they fire you. Then they fire you. But the issue is that they don't have medical insurance for you. They don't have life insurance for you. They don't have retirement policy or whatever for you. Nothing whatsoever. So in Nigeria, they believe Jesus is supposed to be your insurance. Jesus is supposed to be your retirement. Jesus is supposed to be your whatever, and that's not supposed to be the case. And that's why the pastors are stealing money. And that's why the pastors are cajoling people and lying to people. They need to have a future. And that's why I recommend that pastors should go and get a job. Let them go get a job. And when they get a job or start a business, that will make it flexible, that make it easy for them to still do the work of the ministry. That will actually benefit them because they will have their life insurance at their places of work. They will have their retirement at their places of work. And they have all their benefits too, because the church may not provide that. But if you are the owner of the church, not really the owner, the one in charge of the church, all right? If your members, they have this same mindset of we are not paying tithe, then you are inside of a deep problem. Because if there's no money in church, then automatically there is nothing you can do. And that's why some pastors will go and collect a loan. And then they tell the bank that they have 500 people in their church and they're collecting a loan. And then they collect the loan and they go and use that loan to buy McDonald's. They used to buy Dunkin' Donuts. And that Dunkin' Donuts will now be their own business that will be bringing money to them. And then they start paying back that stuff. They will use the number of people they have in their church to collect the loan. They will use those people to collect the loan. And then they get the loan and then they start paying back gradually. And they don't care about you. You pay tithe, you don't pay tithe. That's your own palaver. They are making their own money already. And that's why those pastors are always very mean. They talk to you anyhow in church, tell you if you want to go, you can go, and all kinds of stuff like that because you are not even useful at all. Because to me, you are not even useful. You are not useful because money is not coming into the work of God. All right? So they do that. They do all of that stuff. So they have a lot of things they do, that to bless themselves. If you church members believe that you don't want to pay tithe, you don't have to. You can keep your money. All right? They know exactly what to do to be able to get whatever they want, and they get it. And they get it. All right? But I don't believe in actually going behind the scene. I don't believe in you doing corner. I believe in you being transparent. I believe in you actually being straight and tell the people what they're supposed to know and share with them the account of the church finance. The financial report must be given once every 2 months. Let people know how much we have, how much we are spending, and how much is left in the account. Let them know all of this stuff. For me, I believe they will give more because you're transparent. And I don't think anybody should be stingy towards their pastor too. And the pastor should be pampered and be given things because they labor on you. The business of people is not easy. Come and ask me. Nowadays, I really don't want to do counseling anymore, because it's affecting me. Sometimes people will just tell me stories. They tell me stories, story. And the story is killing me. All right. And when you charge them money, like I used to say, it's actually easy to just be listening to somebody and then canceling people. No, it's not. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So if I'm actually going to be laboring on you, I better be paid. I better be paid. I better be. I better be paid. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. All right. Thank you very much, everybody, for listening to this episode of my show today. Thank you. I know you must have gained one thing or the other. I didn't share anything scripture today. Just because I just want to quickly just talk to you guys straight. And let's just hold this family meeting real quick. There's benefit and blessing in giving. Give to the work of God. If you're in a church where the pastor is transparent, give. Support the ministry. God doesn't need your money. The church needs your money. The work of God needs your money. They must pay the bills. All right. So thank you very much for watching. God bless you. I'll see you guys later tomorrow. If I have a topic, actually, I have a topic I want to talk about. I have a topic I want to talk about. I think if it's possible, I'll actually bring it to you guys tonight or maybe tomorrow morning. All right. God bless you. Thank you. And bye.